Welcome to the channel, folks. Mr. H here for my review of Shazam. Now, we're going to talk non-spoilers first, then we'll get into spoilers, but you have a big, fair warning. And I'm sure that a lot of this stuff has actually been spoiled with toys, but for those that don't know anything with respect to spoilers, I'm going to really do my best to not spoil it, even though there have been things that have actually been revealed, because there's some big twists and turns in this film, which I think you guys will like. And if you haven't been spoiled already by, the crap show that is toys and merchandise revealing everything, I think you guys would appreciate it. So, yeah, just as a heads up, really. Now, of course, for those that are not aware, this is Shazam. This is the latest entry into the DC universe. It's interesting to note that I don't believe this is fully part of the DC universe proper, because the intro, they got rid of that. The main intro, which was showcased in all of the Zack Snyder-esque DC films. So I think it's really important to note that, even though when we get into spoilers you'll see that there may be a connection, and there are some connections because you've seen it in the trailers as well. But anyway, of course, we've got Shazam being played by Asher Angel. He's playing Billy Batson, and then Shazam is being played by Zach Levi. Now, a few people will probably just point this out immediately with respect to the suit. It does look a bit dumb in the movie. I'm not going to lie. It definitely does look stupid. Especially, again, we'll get to this in spoilers. It does look stupid, but it fits the tone of the film. And that's really important to note. This is out and out a child-heavy film. This is all for kids, without a shadow of a doubt. Even in the humour, it is really, really for children, this film. And although it's not perfect, I had a really good time with it, and I can recommend you go and watch it. I had fun with this film. It's worth the price of admission for the entertainment I got from it. The main take-homes from this is that the story, although not perfect, is good for children. It's one of finding your family, finding your belonging. We're following Billy Batson, a child who has gone from foster home to foster home. He's ran away. And there's a really touching moment, actually, in this film, which, again, if you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. But it's kind of him reaching his peak potential, and the linchpin for that. And it works. For a kid's movie, there's an awful lot of emotional weight here. And it's stuff which, although people who may not be connected to, no families and things like that, you may not fully grasp, and you may have thought it was quite heavy-handed, but to those who have experienced those kind of situations, you'd probably agree that there's a lot of true emotions in this film, in my eyes, anyway. Now, the villain, Dr. Sivana, I was intrigued to see how they would do this chap on screen, played by Mark Strong. Mark Strong is fantastic in everything he's in. He is such a great actor. It's interesting to see him make his second DC debut, I guess, because of course he was in Green Lantern, he was Sinestro. He's a great villain. He is good in this, though there's not enough of him. And this is where this film has some issues, and it's really in how it's balancing the origin of Shazam with also a story of Dr. Sivana. Now, Dr. Sivana obviously has his own character arc as well, and it really does juggle kind of a fine line, and it takes a few missteps here and there with handling Dr. Sivana and the origin of Shazam. In terms of the special effects and things like that, the special effects were solid, though you really do get a feel for the lower budget that has clearly been given to this film. But it doesn't overly detract from the story and the movie at hand. There are just some scenes where the special effects are just, they're really not as good as they could be. But overall, from David S. Sandberg, this was a good film. The action scenes were fine, very serviceable. Again, some of the humour, it doesn't align with my sense of humour. It is very slapstick. To put it into perspective, and it's not a spoiler, but Shazam is flying. Oh, I can fly. Bang, he gets hit. It's that kind of slapstick humour, but it works to a certain degree. Now we have Dylan Grazer, and I have to really point this chap out. He plays Freddy, Billy Batson, and obviously Shazam's friend from the foster home. He was superb in this. He has previously been a star of It, and as good as he was in there, I think really this is where Dylan Grazer shines. You can really see he put a lot into this role. He wasn't the same character he played in It. He did give a new spin on the character of Freddy. I really liked him in this. Again, he's supposed to be a little bit irritating here and there, but there's a reason behind it, and it really, really did work. Now, in terms of the connection to the DC universe, there are connections there. I'll touch on them more in spoilers, but I do feel that this was the starting point of DC starting to just completely change the tone of the entire universe, and obviously Aquaman has taken that one step further as well. Even from the closing credits, this is a film where it's just completely different. The closing credits, not a spoiler, but it's all drawings and things like this, and it was really, really good. The score to this film was fine. It's a little bit Suicide Squad-ish with the amount of actual tracks that it's using in the film, but I wouldn't say it detracts too much, not like Suicide Squad where all you can think about is how heavy-handed the track use is versus what you're seeing on screen. But it complemented it nicely. The score itself, I can't remember it at all. So in my eyes, that goes to show that the score was a little bit neither here nor there. But like I say, the effects were good. The cinematography was good. The overall issue with this film is the fact that it really does struggle to balance Dr. Sivana and Shazam. The outfit's stupid, but again, it kind of fits with the tone. And then overall, just the fact that you can feel the budget restrictions on this film. You know, it's not like a Zack Snyder Man of Steel or the BVS where it's just money dripping on screen. This film definitely has had a restricted budget, but I do feel that it's actually better for it because there's been a little bit more of an inventive nature to the screenplay. So there you go. That's my non-spoiler review of Shazam. Wholeheartedly recommend this film. You won't be disappointed. You'd actually have a really good time with it. Take some kids. There's actually some really good messages in this film. And for anyone that has been or experienced any of the issues which are there, again, you'll kind of agree with me. I believe that the film does actually have some emotional weight behind it. And I think that's quite good for this type of movie. So anyway, there you go. This is your warning. We're going to touch on spoilers now, and we will get straight into heavy spoilers. So, warning, 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 heavy spoilers. Let's go. So the 7 deadly sins are in this film, and I know that they've been revealed a lot before because of merchandise and things like this, but they are in this film, and I didn't want to spoil it for anyone who, hasn't been spoiled yet. They were good. Not enough of them. Not enough of them. For such a big villain, I guess you could say, for the Shazam universe, I would have liked to have seen more of them. The effects were surprisingly really good. I think that's probably where most of the budget went, on that and also Shazam's powers. Shazam's powers and the overall costume worked quite well, but again, I just have to repeat, the costume does look stupid. Even in motion, it looks heavily padded. And to touch on heavy spoilers and how it's really evident of how bad the suit is looking by comparison, is we see Superman rock up just before the credits roll, and he's in his standard suit. Obviously there's a stand in there. It's not going to be Henry Cavill. We don't see his face, but the suits by comparison, it's just night and day. And it's interesting to see the difference there, because I think for most people that were like, oh, the suit's fine, that will probably really show you how dumb the suit really is. But anyway, it's enough suit talk. You guys know that I think it's dumb. But Dr. Sivana was good. We get the Mastermind or Mr. Mind, the little bug, turn up at the end. That was an interesting moment, because to me, Dr. Sivana and Mark Strong are such good characters as well as actors to be a throwaway villain. I like the fact that they're going to carry this chap over, hopefully to the sequel, that this film will inevitably get now, because this film will make money. But off the back end of that, this film does have that issue, and it's a Marvel issue as well, where the superhero and the villain both have exactly the same powers. Dr. Sivana has a little bit of a different power, because obviously he has the 7 deadly sins as well, but it's two people with the same powers duking it out. And I do find that it gets a little bit boring, but hey, it was fine. And again, this is a good kids film with a good message as well for children. The Shazam family pop up at the end. Again, it's been spoiled in merchandise and things like this so much. I liked it, and I'd be intrigued to know, because I haven't really taken a massive look at who played the Shazam family, but it would be interesting to see who played them and their acting credits. They were fine, and because I don't know their acting credits, I will just take a wild guess and say that they don't have an extensive acting history, and I think that's indicative of how they acted, but it works because they're children, and they're kind of stumbling over the words here and there, and how they kind of hammed it up actually went hand in hand with the fact that they are supposed to be children. All in all, I actually really like this film. I definitely do not begrudge going to watch it and paying money for it. Again, for most people, take your kids. You will really enjoy this film. It's not scary. There's no massive set pieces or anything like this. It's a low-budget superhero movie with a message, and it's fun. It is a bit slapstick in moments, though, and I feel some of the humour will not land, but you know, most of the humour I feel will land and you'll have a good time. So there you go, that's my review. Guys, if you've seen Shazam and you've stayed this long, what do you think? Do you agree with anything I've said? Do you disagree? Let me know down below in the comments section. As always, if you are new here though, guys, please do hit subscribe. And to stay up to date on the world of pop culture, movie news and movie reviews, crush that bell notification icon. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Mr. H. Take care.